Another weird thing happened. I, got my goods. I got the goods and I just sprawled out on the couch and I just started eating a popsicle. Played some video games, and I was like, I don't know why, but being outside for 2 seconds has made me extremely tired. Let me go take a nap. And I get interrupted mid-nap as I'm straight falling into the really good part of sleep. So I'm super crabby, right? Well, I get up and I go to the door and I see a very official human being at my door. And I'm like, oh no, I'm super scared. So I let him.
At night?
I mean, it was it was a couple hours ago, but I see an individual with a clipboard and shit. So I'm like, oh man, they're coming to get me. And I hadn't paid my bills in a little bit. I took care of it all today, but I hadn't done it in a while. And so I was like, oh man, they're gonna get me for not paying my bills and stuff like that. I better go answer the door. So I answer the door, and you guys know my Japanese is fine. I can get by. It's decent, and I can have regular conversations with people. However, this guy comes up to my door and starts explaining something about one of my utilities. And I thought to myself, dang it, I didn't pay the bill. Oh man. And the way that it was explained to me in Japanese made it sound like it was something that I had to get. Something that I absolutely had to get. And they're like, why haven't you been answering our phone calls, etc. And I did see that somebody had called me a couple times. I was like, oh, damn, this is bad.
Oh, wait, I think I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, I don't want to give too many details about it, but yeah, you probably know what I'm talking about, right? So I'm like, okay, let me fill out all your stuff. And dude's like, it'll take just a moment. And I'm like, okay, thank goodness. I sit out there outside in the blazing heat for 45 minutes with this gentleman.
Oh, gosh.
Filling out things, opening up QR codes, writing down details, etc. And the dude starts becoming increasingly nice to me. Oh wow, your Japanese is so good. Wow, it sure is amazing.
Is he a salesman?
And then he was like, oh yes, you have all the documents, because he kept asking me for official documents that I had. And I was like, this must be a real thing that I have to do. And so I pulled out all the documents that I had saved, and I was like, here you go. No. He's like, oh, wonderful, you kept it. Very good. And I was like, all right, well, what? I mean, this is a little suspicious, but okay. So I did it, right? I filled out all the shit. And then I messaged, along the way, my cool neighbor lady, the cicada throwing neighbor lady. Let's call her Midori-chan because she has green hair. She has dark green hair. I call Midori-chan, or I texted her, and I was like, hey, Midori-chan, I'm a little worried because there's a guy out here, and I think that this is something I have to do. And I kind of understood what he said, but I asked him a couple times, is this something I need? And he kept avoiding the question. And giving long, complicated explanations. So Midori-chan says, here, I'm coming over. Let me give him a call. Because dude gave me his number, right? So Midori-chan comes over and places a call. And she sounds very cross.
And she got mad for you.
She hangs up and she's like, oh, yoku aru ne. This happens a lot. This is something that happens very often. Nah, they just basically convinced you to switch providers. And I was like, bro, are you serious? She's like, don't worry, I canceled it for you. And I was like, thanks, Midori-chan. She's such a Chad. She always helps me. She's like, it's okay. This happens very often. And I don't think it was very nice of them to take advantage of the fact that your Japanese is it's not perfect. So you can't really understand the details. They were firing off some really Muzakashi Nihongo.